Hey, real quick, before we get into that episode, do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss out on any marketing nuggets. Enjoy the show.
Dating and courting up to the sex process, up to the building a family, is you don't just walk up to somebody off the street and say, hey, I want to bust you down, give you 2 babies, and let's have a house tomorrow. You know?
I mean, you can try.
You can try.
Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Make Marketing Make Sense. Today, I am joined by the none other than the magnificent, the wonderful, the most well-established person I've ever come across, Ayesha Shanel.
Oh my God, that's
creator of the House of Shanel.
That's a big ass title.
Yeah. Well, listen, you've done some great things, so we gotta bring in the greatness,
Yeah, that's cool. I've done a few things.
Things here and there. Well, I mean, I think too, it'd just be cool to set up as well to kind of give people an idea of your brand, what it is, what it's about, and the journey that you're on right now, so that when we talk, about these things, they have a context for who you are.
Well, I teach women how to be in their highest vibration by way of first staying in my own, and by way of just a lifestyle and a practice that I've been living myself for the last 20 years or so, and just by way of the family legacy I was born into. I was born into a family of priestesses and high-level entrepreneurs, you can say. And so, I kind of had that gene passed down. And so pretty much for my whole life, I've been preaching and teaching and talking and selling and making money and, doing the up and down entrepreneurial journey. Yeah. And that has evolved into now what is the House of Shanel, which is a conglomerate of all of the elements of what I offer. But at the end of the day, I just show women how to be the most sexiest, powerful, happiest, richest, don't take
all
no
those
shit,
That's right.
Woman that God has created them to be.
Wow. All right. We need more of that. Now more than ever, So, you've built a brand, and really, what were some of the lessons that you learned from growing your brand to what it is today?
That's such a big question.
What comes to mind?
Lessons have I learned? Well, first, look for your lessons while you're building your brand. A lot of people start their brand off with a dream and something that they want to do, and they go after it with their ambition and their goals, and they go do the work, but they forget to pay attention to the fact that who you are today is not who you're going to be once you reach the end point. So there are levels and steps that you have to go through. I heard this the other day listening to someone online. They said, a baby, they may do this with a steering wheel and they may want to drive, but you don't give them the actual power behind a real steering wheel because they don't have the faculties yet.
Right.
They will, and you let them play and you let them learn step by step, and then you get them a little car, then you get them a little, then you give them driver's lessons, and then you take it to where you can now drive on your own. That's the biggest thing that I would tell people now in this new time, because we have to learn a whole new way. The old way is archaic. It's crumbling. It's boring. It's ugly. Nobody wants to do that old shit anymore. People want to be free and, build things from their inspiration. And so that means you have to be tapped in at another level to be inspired. And so there's some new learning, new systems, and some new things that have never been created before. There's a lot of pioneering that's happening. So that means you got to really be quiet and learn your steps on your journey, because that millionaire who's giving you the success tips, you got to realize their steps were like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So you got some new steps that nobody's walked before.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you pulled that. That was brilliant, right there. What a good metaphor, what I'm saying? I mean, because what I think is interesting is is also those steps that they did, or they were in a different circumstance. It's like
Right.
all of our circumstances are unique to us. So it's
Mhm.
like you have to take a little bit of grain of salt
Yep.
when you're building a brand
Yep.
that it's like true to you and what you do.
Absolutely. And
You
a
know?
different time.
Yeah.
Human behavior is different.
Yeah.
We are
Especially
totally
constant,
we
every
are
day,
rewired totally different, and
Yeah.
some people being unwired,
Yeah.
so there's a
exactly.
totally different buying behavior, and a way of exchanging currency is changing. Money itself is getting ready to change overnight very soon. I'll give you this little prediction here in the next 6 years, so you guys get your shit together.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You get your pocketbooks out.
Yes. So, you just have to be aware that we're building a new world as entrepreneurs and as creators.
Yeah.
And be aware of that.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, and so I guess, what did you do? I mean, and now I know you're starting to like kind of keep, you're re-engaging with your brand.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to build it back up, and what are some of the steps you're recognizing are important for your brand to really focus on now in 2024 to really build your brand?
Really connecting with my new person, who my brand,
like your audience,
my new audience, and realizing that who I was when I started my brand is not who I am today. Neither is my audience. And what I'm noticing when I am doing my research, because I haven't been online in several years, like I've totally blacked out of online.
That's kind of good
focus.
though. You have no preconceptions. It's all fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been doing my research and looking at some of my peers and other people's work, and just been looking. And I'm like, this is amazing. They're doing amazing work, but it's old. You've been doing this for the last however, and you're regurgitating things you've already said before, and people are following you. They're not actually transforming. They're not actually changing. They're just following, and that behavior is old. No one wants to follow anybody anymore. People want to be
taken on a journey.
Yeah. So I forgot what the question was, but
well, it was like the steps you're taking, which is kind of like, to build your brand now.
Yes.
Which I think, you're getting to. Yeah.
Yes, connecting.
Yes.
Yeah. So I I just think it's really knowing your audience and then finding the way to get to the money and the impact minus the rigmarole. And
what do you mean by that?
The rigmarole is we're going to take 5 weeks to brand discover. We're going to take 15 weeks to build funnels. We're going to take 1,000,000 years to do all these things. Build the plane as you're flying it and learn along the way. But it's like, skip all those old systems. You can get right to the point. Hey, I'm here to serve you this. Not, are you ready for a new life? Are you ready for a new nail color? Are you ready for... No, listen, I have worked my whole life for this. Yeah. I've been given this gift. I have this amazing studio. I have this amazing product, and I'm offering it to you because it's going to do something for you. And so getting straight to it, I think people are tired of the fluff.
Yeah.
And people will really appreciate a brand that gets straight to the point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think that is the name of the game right now. And like when you're getting straight to the point, like how straight are you? Like how much do you focus on because obviously there's the sell. Like everybody's like, and I think a lot of people are nervous to just say, all right, everybody I feel like is tempted to just be like, buy my things. But you can't just put that out there.
Right.
Like how are you engaging with that with your brand presence?
Well, my grandfather used to say this thing. He said, cut the crap. Okay, so you cut the crap. All the selly. Cut the crap. And you get to your story. And that is really what is going to sell, is story selling in this new time. Yeah. Which is going to be tricky for some people because that means you have to be in your truth. And you have to be authentic. And you have to be, and not this new fad, I'm authentic. Yeah. But no, really tell the truth. I really did that shit. Yeah. And really... tell a relatable story. And it doesn't have to be you. It can be your brand, whatever your brand offers, but you still tell a story through your marketing that relates to your client. Yeah,
and I guess how do you ensure that you keep authenticity? I think everybody's knows they need authenticity, but I feel like it's a really hard thing to dial in on.
Well, there's work you have to do.
Yeah.
There's spiritual work you have to do. There's internal work that you have to do. That's a choice that's separate from the choice of being successful, but it impacts the result of being successful, right? So you have a lot of entrepreneurs and marketers who have no spiritual practice. They're just I'm just out here doing what I free.
And this is internally,
internally, yeah.
Behind the scenes, they need to be prepped for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just being authentic to me is I'm operating from the inside out, not the outside in. Like I'm doing this because I know it's aligned for me. I heard it, I felt it, I saw it, it's in me. I trust it, and so I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know versus I'm doing this because this is what it looks like.
Right.
They said I should.
Yeah.
What's faddish right now.
Right.
You know.
Because I guess like too, because going back to your adage earlier too, where you were saying like it's really important to keep producing and learning along the way, build the plane as you go. Is that true too for authenticity as well? Like, you're not gonna necessarily know yourself, but as long as you're like speaking to yourself,
right,
that's what matters.
You have to build a relationship with yourself. Like, and really learn yourself, what you need, what you like, what's for you, what's not, how you listen, how you feel. Everybody doesn't, everyone's inner world is, your functions are made up totally different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll give you just a really quick example. Like, one of my functions is to be able to hear spiritually. I'm a spiritualist. That's just who I am. Some people may be realists, and that is not how they function. They function through touch. Like, I actually have to touch something for me to actually be able to manifest it or to believe it.
Yeah.
So to know your functionality, and then you apply that into your business actions, it takes you from 0 to 60 overnight because you're operating with inner power.
Yeah. No, I love that. I mean, I think that's something that we often forget as business, especially when you're trying to like, you need to create content for your business. You need to do that. But it's like you become so obsessed about the business, you forget that you are of the business and like that the person needs to be seen through.
Exactly.
And it's like we lose the person and the personality. I think that is the thing that a lot of people are missing with content right now. Yeah. Which is like, it's crazy. Yeah, look at that insight. All right. Okay.
You know, I tell my ladies inside of my tribe, I say, whatever you produce needs to come through your prosperous P.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little deep for, marketing podcast, but, I train women how to be in their feminine energy.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that means that if it is not agreeing with myself, my body, then it's not for me. Yeah. So it's having that muscle. And men have it too. I call it your divine D. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Men just have to learn how to navigate with that divine D, because it's
ABC on down to D, that's how we do it.
It's your navigation.
You gotta navigate that. It is. Well, so you have this brand, and one thing that I've seen just from bits of pieces of what you've talked to me about behind the scenes is how intricate and unique and just well thought out your monetization process is for your brand. Can you kind of walk me through what are good ways for people that have built a brand, like ways for them to monetize their brand, and how, based off the way you've done it, or like the successful ways that you can start to monetize a brand?
That's a big ass question too.
How do we take that down?
How do we get to the money? How do we get to the money?
You got all these people and you want to start making money, but like, how do you start doing that?
Well, you have to move them somewhere. So that's versus you have to have the gift of really being an influencer, being able to move a person from one point to another, to literally be able to move someone from this position, however we scroll, to now either this position, meaning I'm buying something, clicking something, or this position to where I'm pulling out a credit card, giving it to you, and then waiting to receive what you're giving back to me, then actually receiving what you're giving back to me, digesting what you're giving back to me, liking it enough to want to come back to you to do this to you again. So it's a process of knowing how to dance with a person. When I do my sales training, again, everything I do is very divine, feminine, sexually based. So I give the example of dating and courting up to the sex process, up to the building of family. Is you don't just walk up to somebody off the street and say, "Hey, I want to bust you down, give you 2 babies, and let's have a house tomorrow."
I mean, you can try.
You can try. In this day and age, some people might be like, "Thank you, yes."
I was waiting.
But the very first thing that you do with someone is you say hello. Yeah. And you introduce yourself. Yeah. And then you ask their name. And then if there's a connection, then you exchange a telephone number. And then there's a time after the exchange of the telephone number that you have a conversation. If there's a connection in that conversation, then there is an actual meeting. Yeah. If that meeting feels good, then there's another meeting in a more intimate place. Wow. When you get to that more intimate place, you're doing more intimate things in the intimate place, but there's still a process to get from kissing to getting somebody all the way to the hook. Yeah. Right? Wow. Now we get you to the hook.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy how dating is so close to business sometimes. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Right?
Keep going.
And I get you to the hook.
Yeah.
And I may get some of that hook, but is
Yeah.
it going to hook long enough to give you
Yeah.
a seed, to give you a
Yeah.
baby?
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
we're really in each other's lives. And these are the clients that would pay me a retainer to be their
Right.
spiritual advisor, that would pay me,
Right.
you know, $100,000 to come in and train their team, or
Yeah.
the people who are inside of my House of Shanel community who would pay $200, $300 a month to stay in
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. This sounds so funny, but it's to impregnate your customer.
That's the first time I heard that on this podcast. I love it.
And make them desire the process and be happy that they're in that intimate space with you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So much to break down there. I mean, I guess the part that everybody, the part that I would want to know more about, and people probably think about, is that initial conversational phase. Like how do people build the hello to get your number phase on for, you know?
You literally do it. You literally do it. You literally pretend this is a phone. Record. Hello. My name is whoever. And I'm looking for 5 women who want to learn how to blah, blah. I'm looking for 50 people who want to try my new body cream. I'm looking for people who want to try my new coffee. I mean, it's really great. Look at me sipping it.
You do look great sipping it. So.
Thank you. Right? But okay, so hi. And this is what I have to offer at this beginning phase of my business. I'm not showing up as a guru saying, come and listen to me. I'm speaking to millions of people around the world.
Right.
I'm saying, hey, it's just me, and I'm just looking for 5 women who want to take this journey with me. You know, I've been learning a lot of things. I've gone through this sacred process where I discovered this really amazing coffee, and it's changed my life. And I just want to tell 5 people about it, or 10 people about it, or 100 people about it.
I got to taste this coffee.
Right? Right? And those people who are like, I'm one of those 5.
That's amazing coffee.
Or 100, then they'll listen to your call to action.
Yeah.
And you always have to be giving people a place to go.
Because kind of what you're describing there is your audience testing. You're testing the audience, but what I think is even more specific to what you're describing is you're being authentic to where you're at right now.
Right.
Which I think is a lot of people don't do that, which I think, that's so interesting. I love that. Yeah. Wow. Right. That's cool. So after that, you start to build that.
And they grow with you.
And they grow with you. It's like you're building your family up with you.
Right.
That's so interesting.
Right. And you take them on the journey. So the front framework of how we used to enjoy looking at celebrities has changed. It used to be very, I'm in costume, I'm in character, you follow my fame.
Yeah.
Then it turned into, now you're with me brushing my teeth, I'm eating my dinner, this is my man, this is my family, this is my house, I'm in my jammies.
Yeah.
Right. So we're over that.
Yeah.
We're over that phase now. TikTok has us all tired. Like, okay, it may last for another year or 2, right?
Yeah.
Now the journey is, hi, I'm really living what I'm teaching.
Yeah.
I'm really eating what I'm selling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you come along this journey with me. And as I grow and expand
sit at
my
the table with me and let's eat together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. I mean, and a part of that too that I'm so curious about is, how do you know, I mean, like, what's your concept for, do you put like value add content as well versus, because like that's kind of like an ask, like you described like an ask content. How much ratio of like making asks versus creating value? Like what kinds of content should people be creating to like get to that monetization journey? Like what should they be doing after they like, I mean, I know there's so much we can talk about there, but I mean like just on an initial stage, like what do you feel, is the best way so far?
It's journey. It's journey. It's taking a person. We're going to take step 1 together, step 2 together, step 3 together, step 4 together. So that by the time we together take step 5, we've all manifested something that we collectively now have in common.
Yeah.
I lost 5 pounds. I manifested $1,000. My teeth got whiter.
Yeah.
My followers went up 1,000 people.
Wow.
Now you got 10 people saying the same thing.
Man.
Right.
This is
so it's taking people on that journey with you.
And a part of that, and I guess the other part that I'm curious about is with your social media, the like if you're taking people on a journey, people are going to come in at different times.
Right.
So like how do you ensure that they come in, like they're not coming in like in the middle of the journey or like or that, so to speak?
Well, this is where the genius comes in marketing. And I feel so fortunate to have the business and business partnership that I have. I've been with my business partner for about 15 years now, and we've been through all the different forms of the waters, all of it. Yeah. And we finally come together, and in this new season, we've created, we've always had this company, but we've decided to really focus on this. Yeah. It's called Aligned Genius, and he's the foundation. I am the framework of building brands, and we're both, I hate to the whole toot your own horn, but I always say honk honk. Yeah. I really know what I'm doing with, with marketing. And awesome. He is a genius in business, and strategy and things like that. So we spend a lot of time really building out a vehicle and an engine that can run with or without us. And it has taken, we would say, 15 years of trial, error, success, failure, and a catalog of content being created, because I have hundreds of hours of content and classes and courses and events and all books and all sorts of things. And we took that, curated it with two people who were on the journey with me, and it's taken us almost 5 years to do it. Wow. And through it, we've curated this evergreen funnel that I could die tomorrow. God forbid. I don't. I love living. God, please hear me clearly. Okay, let me finish my journey. On that wood, okay. But it would live on for hundreds of years beyond me because of the way that it's set up. So we're also doing a lot of legacy and very intentional legacy work as well. Yeah. So I would say that to anyone who's starting their brand right now is, if you died in the middle of you building your brand, would it last? Yeah. And that's how you want to build it, with the end in mind, not to have people thinking about death. Yeah. I mean,
it comes for us all, but Yeah. So what would be if you could give us a little teaser of the engine and not the whole thing maybe, but just what does the beginning look like? What does the first phase look like when it comes to content? Because I guess I am still curious about, how do you curate it to make sure that people keep coming in and they don't feel like they're starting in the middle?
Okay. I'm gonna break down the system really swiftly.
Okay, swift.
Okay.
Swift system break.
If you were anyone watching or listening was actually coming to my company for this would cost you $100,000. Okay?
Wow. Okay, so we're getting $100,000 tips.
Your notes. Here. I'm gonna give you the funnel and the pathway. Okay. You can drop your own product in there. My product is digital courses, classes, bracelets, lipstick, sacred tools for my tribe to thrive. You can put your socks, your toothpicks, your camera work, whatever you want to put in there, okay? Okay. It starts like this. So the initiation, our very first initial contact, it doesn't matter if I meet you in the grocery store or I meet you on a stage or I meet you on the internet. I'm going to turn you on. So the very first thing is to turn you on. And it's to turn you on to your power. And so I have something called the tuning technique, which is a 5-step process that shows you how to activate your internal inner sexual energy so you can connect with your source without any outer influence or person to give you more power and energy and raise your vibration. So that's the first offer, so to speak, opt-in. Doesn't
so it's
kind of
anything. You give them a value.
It's a
yes, like a freebie.
We call it a freemium. That's what we called it back in the day. It's a freemium, and it's free for you to walk through these 5 steps. Yeah. These are 5 1-minute videos I filmed on an iPhone, beautiful location, and I show you here's how to tap in, here's how to tune in, here's how to da-da-da, here's how to da-da-da. Do this at home, okay? Because there's in my internal rule of house, you can't come inside of the House of Shanel if you're not turned on. Yeah. I'll say it in another way. If you're out of alignment, if you're in your ego, if you're in a low vibration, if you're not connected to yourself, if you're all over the place, you can't come through these doors. Because
so it's also good, like a primer.
Exactly. And that's major. You have to have some sort of prerequisite for people to come through your door. So you always want to set the prerequisite. Okay, if you don't have this type of money, if you don't have this type of understanding, if you're not a woman, if you're not this age, you can't come in. Yeah. So you need some sort of prerequisite. So once you come through that, once I turn you on, then I show you how to have a relationship. And it's called, well, I won't tell you what it's called, but I show you how to have a relationship. I'm giving you all my juice. Yeah, don't give me all my juice.
You got to pay for
that, Okay. But then there is a mini course where I show you how to develop a deeper relationship. And this is all video, audio, text. And so the meat of that is where the work is knowing how to design and curate and shape an invisible, digital, empowering experience with somebody. So that means I have to engage you through email, through text, through social, through mail, through telephone calls, right? Through groups, through live calls, live streams. So you curate all of that. And then your team automates all of that, which is why it's a genius. It's a genius level work here, and it's not cheap work. It's not something you can just do. You really have to know what you're doing. And so so you move through that, and then once you're through that, you are so interconnected. You are clear on what it is that you want, and then we've got something curated called pathways. Now you can choose which path you want to walk. In my hierarchy, and there's 4 levels in my hierarchy. So you really have to systematize your internal systems. Like you literally have to create an internal university, an internal, I hate to say this, but I'll say this jokingly. Okay. You have to make it a cultish environment. And you have to literally carve out, because a cult is nothing but a culture.
Follower, it's a culture. You're building the community.
Right. But if you come inside of my community, you're going to call your activator, your prosperous P, your divine D, your God rod. I have like these names and levels. You're a hot girl, you're a sacred woman, you're a divine queen, you're a divine goddess. So there's these benchmarks you want to get to.
It's the lingo like a football fan would know. Exactly. For their groups. So,
exactly. And with that said, this is the next piece to that is once you have people feeling like, I really want to do this, then you want to gamify their process with you.
Interesting.
And to gamify just simply means to give people a reason to move forward. So, challenges. I challenge all of you 100 people in the next 90 days to create your 30-minute video reels at home. Whoever gets the best one online and gets the best clicks wins a $2,500 VIP session here in our studio.
Wins the next stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just trying to make up something with your business here. But and so you keep people, I want to win that. I want to win that. I want to win that. And that's the genius behind it all.
Wow.
But you do it. Here's the next secret sauce. Y'all owe me some more money.
All right, we need your donations in.
Okay.
All right.
Listen. Okay. So the next genius and the next wise thing to do is to get very quiet and pre-pave an entire 18-month journey of where you're taking someone from conception all the way to the completion of the journey that you've prepared for them. And you automate that bitch. Excuse me. Okay.
It's all about that automation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And you automate it, right?
Say it again, automate it.
But while you're doing it, you do it live one time with a group of people that's paying you $1,000, $500, $2,500. So now you have a pool of capital to build your funnel, to build your team that's going to run the funnel, to free yourself from having to be in the forefront of the business. And after that 18 months of focus, you can skate on, baby. Wow. I got about 3 more weeks left, and I'm putting my skates.
All right. Let me new skates, new shoes. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
I love it. Wow, this has been fantastic. I mean, I wish I could dive into more, but we've run out of time here.
Oh my goodness!
But can you quickly give everyone a quick plug for House of Shanel and what you do, and where they can find you?
Absolutely. So,
and if you want, you can look at this camera here.
Camera here. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, the House of Shanel is the home of the Divine, which is a private online space that I've created for women who want to be in their highest divine feminine energy and be in their highest power. And the doors are opening somewhere around New Year's, so you got to be really close. But to be a part of the House of Shanel, to get a key is $150 per month. And with that is a full-on schedule of activities, tribe work, prayers, all sorts of things that keep you aligned and tapped in. And there's so many other offers and opportunities, from discovery sessions all the way up to sacred rebirth coaching for high impact, high level women who want to totally get into their divine power. And that's where the mastery stuff comes in. But it's all at houseofshanel.com. And yeah, I'm just excited to flow with people and,
I love it.
be in this new season. So thank you
thanks
for
for flowing
having
with
me.
us, man.
Thank you
This
for
was
having me. This
fantastic.
is so
Yeah.
incredible. I'm so grateful for this.
Yeah, we are too.
You activated me. This is my
Oh, I
first
love it.
podcast of the season. I
That's what
plan
I'm
on
talking
doing
about.
many, many more. So
That's what I
thank
love
you.
it. Awesome. Well, thanks
Thank
for
you.
being on here, and we'll see everyone else on the next one.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into the show. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This episode of Make Marketing Make Sense is brought to you by Comfystone. If your business needs organic social media video content, video ads, or video podcasting, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Until next time, this is Make Marketing Make Sense.